Hello and welcome to CloudQuant Liberator. Today we'll be looking at the Excel plugin, a quick introduction. The assumptions are that you've already downloaded the plugin and installed the plugin. If you're having trouble installing the plugin, the likelihood is it's going to be the 64-bit plugin that you want in 99% of cases. And there is a document within the download that is the PDF. I suggest that you read through the PDF. That will give you a brief introduction to it. But let's jump right in and give you a demonstration of how it works. So, having installed the plugin, you will find that you have a new tab at the top that will be called CloudQuant, or if you've got the product from one of our partners, it will use their name. And on the right-hand side, CloudQuant, a pop-out bar on the right-hand side as well. We're going to go to the tab first. The first thing that you should do is go to Account and enter your username and your token that you've received, and also the base URL. Now, this base URL will vary depending on which Liberator you're connecting to. But once you've entered all the information that you will have been given, you will click on OK and it will immediately test that connection. If everything is OK, this will pass and you'll be in and working with the plugin. If you have any problem there, get in touch. So we've installed, we've put in our information and we've connected OK. If at any point you lose this right-hand panel, if you close it by accident, simply click on the Restore Task pane and you will get it back. If you feel that the range of datasets that are listed in the panel are incomplete, then close the panel, click on Get Datasets. That will stay grey for a few seconds while it communicates with the server, and you'll get the latest list of datasets. We're going to, first of all, go through how to create a query with the wizard. So we're going to click on Create. The wizard pops up. It also pops out this panel that shows you any previous queries that you've run. We're going to provide a query name, and the purpose of the query name is to be able to reference them over here in case we wanted to rerun them at a later date. We're going to search for a dataset to query. We can also open up the entitled and work our way through there to find a particular dataset that we're interested in. I'm entitled to all datasets. You will have an entitled and a not entitled, which will allow you to browse through some of the datasets to see if there are any others that are maybe of interest to you. I'm going to search, and I'm going to search for daily, and that brings up a lot. Underscore bars. Okay, that reduces it down dramatically. This is the one that I'm looking for. Its time range is 2011 or 103 onwards. So let's click on that one and we click next. So the next thing is, which symbols or keys or tickers do you want from this particular data set? You can either include all tickers, you can select a range on the spreadsheet, maybe on another sheet on your spreadsheet you have a list of symbols that you're interested in. You can select that range, and then whenever you rerun the query, it'll look at that range of cells before it does the query. That's quite useful. Or you can type in the tickers that you want. In this case, we'll just put in Tesla and Google, and we'll click next. And now it wants to know what type of query do you want. Do you want a time range between 2 points in time, or a point in time for retrieving a single value? So if, say, for example, you wanted short interest, but you only wanted it right now, you would select a point in time and you would leave it with the current time and you would hit run. If you wanted short interest for a single point in time in the past, you would put that date in. But if you wanted the history of the short interest, you'd put a time range in. So we're going to go with the time range and next, and it gives us a few options. We can choose a time range between 2 points in time, 10:15 to 10:16, it autofills. We can choose a time range from point in time until present. What the system does is it normally fills this in with the previous day. You can choose a last period of X days or a last period ending at a point in time. So all pretty straightforward. The only thing I would say is with any of these fields, Excel has an unusual issue in that if I put a date in here, I should move off the cell so that that date is registered. It's just a quirk of Excel. We'll go next. And now, where do you want to place the data? Either on a new worksheet, in the current active cell, or replace the table. So replacing the table will replace a table that's already been created. That's useful if you just want to rerun a query over and over again, and you have maybe some other sheets that refer back to cells on that sheet, so you can do calculations and things like that. We're just going to put the current active cell and we click Finish. It submits the query. You can see there's a little bar running, Tesla, Google, from here to here, time range between 2 points in time. And as you can see, we've got October the 1st through to October the 15th for Tesla and Google. And that's all there is to submitting a query with the wizard. Now, we're going to run a query again, but this time we're actually going to use this panel. We'll act as if we just come into Excel. We'll delete all of the data on here, and we will start from scratch. So we open up the panel and we go to data sets. We want to search for what we are interested in. Again, well, let's put minute underscore, and we get a lot. So let's put bars, and we still get a lot. And this is the one that we're interested in, this minute bars. We're going to call this one test 2. Well, actually, let's call it test minute. We'll stick with Tesla and Google. And rather than last known value at a point in time, again, we will go from a point in time to present. And we will go from 10/13/2025 at 9 o'clock a.m. And again, in here, when you fill this in, when you click run, it won't necessarily accept this value. Click away from there so that Excel knows that that value has changed. We will hit run. And as you can see, we've got a progress bar. And there is the data. So we've got minute bars from 9:01 on the 13th, right the way through to the most recently closed and available minute bar in this data set, which is 1959 on 10:15, which is yesterday. And that is how you submit a query using the panel on the right. So let's just delete all of that data again. And let's go back to the query tab. And let's click on this test minute. And then let's click on run it again. Shows that it's running. Operation succeeded, and we get the data again. So let's delete the data one more time. Select the top cell, click on the CloudQuant tab at the top, and let's click on edit. It shows the query. It's called test minute. It shows the data set that we've selected, daily bars. It shows that we selected Tesla and Google. It shows that we selected a time range between 2 points in time. It shows that we selected a time range from a point in time till present, and that was 10:15. And I just want to modify that. I want to go back to 10:10. Okay, so we're going to go back to 10:10 instead. We click next, active cell. Actually, let's put it on a new worksheet. Finish. It's running the query, slightly longer query. And as we can see, we're getting the data. And now it's put it on a sheet with the name of the query, the date of the query, and the time of the query so that it's unique. So again, we've got 10:10 right the way through to 10:15. One other thing, sometimes if you've got a long test name, you may not be able to read it in here, and you can stretch out these columns here, but you can also stretch this out. But it's a weird quirk of Excel in that you don't stretch it out by grabbing here. That doesn't work. That just collapses it back in again. You stretch it by grabbing above or below, and then you can stretch this panel out larger. And the only other thing that I probably need to point out is if you submit a query, and maybe you've submitted a query accidentally for a long time range for a lot of data, and this operation is spinning at the bottom for quite some time. Let's say you ask for minute bars for all symbols for 3 years. Obviously, that's going to be a very, very long query. We don't have an abort button in here, but there is an abort button at the top left here. So you can click that, and that will stop the query running. So let's, as an example, go back to CloudQuant, go back to edit this one again, go next, next, next. We will go back on this occasion to 09/10/2025 again. We will click away from that cell so that it registers it. Next, we will put it in the active cell. We will click finish. It's running the query. We've decided it's taking too long. That isn't what we meant to do. We made a mistake. We will click abort. Query aborted. And there you go. That is your full introduction to the Excel plugin from CloudQuant. If you have any questions, reach out. Have a great day.